Hello, my friends. This video is going to be on how to find the zeros of a function. So basically, when we're looking for the zero of a function, we are looking for where the function intersects the x-axis. So we're really looking for the x-intercepts. This very first function we have is a rational function. The first thing we're going to notice is that right away, because we have x plus 1 in the denominator, we know that x cannot possibly be -1. So I am going to make note of that right away. And the reason that it can't be -1 is because if it is, then that puts the function is undefined at that point. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I am simply going to take out the f of x and replace it with the number 0. So I am going to rewrite the problem to say 0. I don't know why I'm using purple. To say 0 is equal to x squared minus 3x minus 4 divided by x plus 1. Then if I multiply the right side by x plus 1 and I multiply the left side by x plus 1, I still have 0 equals x squared minus 3x minus 4. So people say, oh, then we can just ignore the denominator. Yes, we can, but we need to know why. So that is why. So we'll go ahead and factor that. So we factor that and we get x minus 4 and x plus 1. So that would get us x minus 4 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0. So x would equal 4 and x would equal -1. But I already know that that answer can't be an answer. So the 0 is x equals 4. The 0 is the number 4. If we wanted to put that on a graph, let's say we wanted to put that on a graph, we could. Let's just not. Let's just move on from there. Okay, so this next one. So we are going to replace f of x with 0. And we're going to say 3x squared minus 48x. We're going to get rid of the power first, which gives us 0 equals 3x squared minus 48x. So people go, oh, so I can just ignore the radical. Yes, but that's why. And then we would say the greatest common factor is 3x, which gives us x minus 16. So if we said 3x equal to 0 and x minus 16 equal to 0, then we would get x equals 0 and x equals 16. So our zeros are 0 and 16. On this one, we would just replace f of x with 0, and we would say 5x squared minus 7x minus 6. And then we would factor that. That's got to be a 5x. This, let's see. If I want a -7. 3 and 2, 2 and 3. Yep, it needs to have a 2 and a 3 here. And I could make this -2 and +3. I think that works. I'm going to double check it real quick to make sure it works. If I multiply this, I get -10x. And if I multiply this, where's my x? I get 3x, and so that gets me -7x. So yes, that works. So x would equal -3/5 and x would equal 2. So my zeros are -3/5, I'm sorry, and 2. All right, if I replace this with 0, I have 3/4 of x minus 24. So I would move the 24. And then I would multiply by 4 and divide by 3. I would multiply by 4 and divide by 3. That gets me 32 equals x. So the 0 is 32. All right, now we're going to do increasing and decreasing. This arrowhead goes forever left, and this arrowhead goes forever down. This arrowhead goes forever to the right, and this arrowhead goes forever up. I want to focus only on the values of x, and this graph doesn't change direction ever. It hiccups, but it doesn't change direction. It is constantly going up. So I am going to say that it is increasing from negative infinity to infinity. Okay, on this one, this arrowhead is going forever to the left and forever up. This arrowhead is going forever to the right and forever up. And this ordered pair is the ordered pair 0, -1. I then want to highlight just my x values. This x value is negative infinity, this x value is infinity, and this x value is 0. This graph begins headed down, and then it's headed up. So we would say that it is decreasing from negative infinity until it hits 0, and then it is increasing once it hits 0, and it continues increasing forever. This graph, the end of this graph is -3, 0, and this arrowhead is going as far right as it can go and as far up as it can go. I am going to look at my x values only, this x value and this x value, and I'm going to notice that the graph begins here and is headed in an upwardly direction the entire time. So I am going to say that it is increasing from -3 to infinity. This graph should have arrowheads on it. This arrowhead is going to the left forever and up forever. This arrowhead is going to the right forever and down forever. It changes directions right here, which I am going to say is approximately -2.2, comma, and I'm going to say -2.5, -2.5. To me, it looks like an odd function, so this point would have to be 2.2, comma, 2.5. And then I'm going to make note of my x values only. And I'm going to notice that my graph is headed decreasing until it hits here. Then it is increasing until it hits here. And then it is decreasing again when it hits here. So my decreasing is negative infinity to -2.2, and also 2.2 to infinity. And then my increasing is negative 2.2 to 2.2. I want to double check that. So it decreases from negative infinity to negative 2.2. Then it increases from negative 2.2 to 2.2. Then it decreases from 2.2 to infinity. So that is it. And that is all of them, my friends. Have a great day. If you have any questions, ask me in class or send me an email.